terms of relationships, we gotta talk about where it started, right? And so many of us don't think about the way relationships that we witness as children affect the way we move and maneuver in our relationships today. The most impactful are probably your parental relationships, yeah? They're complex. I'm not gonna say complicated, they're complex because people are complex. And when you realize the parents are people, it opens up a whole new door. I know that sounds like common sense, but we don't think about parents as people. And so when I accepted the fact that my parents are people, it made me realize that I'm just strong enough to double dutch. You know, somewhere between feeling adored and overlooked, between living free and double booked, between appeasing him and pleasing me, and somehow I made that shit look easy. See, there's being an outlier while feeling like an outcast. I was a graceful public high flyer that probably felt I had no gas, and not many asked, and that's cool, because it took me a minute to process the truth, so I can accept the news that kid Sam Coop, she got daddy issues. And it ain't abandonment nor abuse, just grown ass kids ain't so cute when your old man is out here entertaining hoes just as young as you. I'm talking money hungry bunnies that's high key scared of you, because they know that you knew off the rip what they came to do. Yet you know these observations will be viewed as worthless. So you sit back and you watch that shit play out words until there's a call from the reaper, or he realizes he just can't keep it. Then he needed somebody to cry to him. Boom. Guess who? The grown ass kid is now doing the shit strong friends do. And they wonder why she's stone faced with an icy heart. Because she carried these sharp ass thoughts to tear her soul apart. And then she drifts that shit into every work of art. Let's just say this kid got off to a very early start. See, I've been taking these feelings of inadequacy and embedding them into piece after piece. And so I wrote and rewrote lines until them fine ass lines define me. And while I was busy becoming well-defined and refined, that image gave me vision so I could finally see. Problem always been his. This shit ain't never even been about me. That's probably why it hurt so bad. Because time and emotional support, that's all I ever asked. But since he couldn't give it, I had to become mentally tough. You know, just so that tidbit didn't weigh so much. And so I fought and I fought until I finally grew strong enough to emotionally double dutch.
Okay.
And accepting that, it just opened a new door for me. It made me realize that the way I was moving in my relationships was kind of dishonest, because I didn't tell nobody that. I didn't know, so I couldn't tell it. And then eventually I had to sit across from somebody's son and let him know that I've been giving and giving all my life. And it made me hard to love, because I ain't had nothing to hold on to. I didn't keep nothing for myself. And so then I had to be honest and say, I know it's not easy to love the pieces of me. Probably because it's impossible to track each piece individually. See, I've been so busy giving my best away so selflessly and holding on to these dark parts so selfishly that it's all that I have in stock. And it's begun to pile up on me and weigh on my soul like rocks. See, there's one stone for every self-conscious moment. There's two for every time I attempted to own it. And then there's three for every time that he told me that he loved me and I turned away to fight back the tears. But I don't know if I was really fighting tears, or maybe I was fighting fears, because every time I heard those three little words, it made my soul cringe. And that shit is more mysterious to me than Stonehenge. Like, how can you love thin ice knowing that eventually you'll fall through? How can you stick so close to this train wreck knowing my potential to wreck you? See, I often feel that loving me is like waking up to a bad game of emotional Russian roulette. The problem is the cylinder's full, so misery's gonna win every bet. And for that reason, you leaving me is as certain as death, because I just really ain't got shit to give you but these broken pieces I have left. And that's wild. Ain't it crazy how people tend to fall in love with cracked ass vases, valuing those empty vessels more than the flowers they once held? Ain't it?
Yeah.
No regard for any morals or values they once held. But what's even more crazy is how we all find a way to fall in love with somebody who can't even manage to love themselves. And it's because they like me. They just been too damn busy giving their best away to everybody else. And when I told him that, it opened up a portal, lack of a better term. Because now I gave us the opportunity to grow together. I gave us the opportunity to learn from one another, to heal together, to accept our own flaws. and to grow beyond the relationships that we encountered as children. And when you do that, it just opens up a new level of vulnerability with one another. And you know, of course, with women, you see it all the time, but they don't talk about what it's like for a man. It's hard for a man to be vulnerable with somebody. Yeah. But when he finds the right one, he becomes like putty in her hands. And don't get it twisted, that malleability makes him no less of a man. He just finally found a woman he can truly be vulnerable with. Someone with whom he can share his deepest thoughts and emotions, his dreams, and even his regrets. Because she knows when he only needs an ear. She also recognizes when he sometimes needs a shoulder. But she also quickly identifies when the argument is over. It's just a couple of things about her that he loves. On top of the light that she carries within herself. Which is why he probably can't imagine doing life with anybody else. Yeah. So he made a vow to himself. Their lips will always meet before they part ways, and he'll make sure to remind her each and every single day that he could fall in love with her forever. And of that he's certain. And how does he know? Because he still gets nervous. And then here I am. I'm like fine blown glass in his arms. And no matter how bad the earthquakes, I know he'll do his best to keep me safe from harm. See, he's managed to hold me upright through his own heartache. He's carried me through his own grief. And somehow I know he always sees me for me. See, he even encourages me to store my super suit. As we navigate this thing called life on the most unorthodox route, he's got this light inside. And he's like a magnificent beam that touches my soul every time we lock eyes, and I swear, every kiss is like the very first time. And that's how I know I could fall in love with him forever. And of that I'm certain. And how do I know? Because shit, I still get nervous. See, there's this never-ending spark between us even in our dullest moments. And this love that's rooted in friendship has us constantly counting products and never seeing quotients. And this beautiful black love, I know, has the potential to grow into something divine, as long as we continue to nurture it with patience, compassion, and time. Thank you.
Come on.